Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the fifth session in the CAP webinar series. Today, we'll be discussing ODK, which stands for Open Data Kit. We'll also be discussing KoBo, another collection tool, and Data Visualization. Here with me today, we have three presenters. Our first presenter is Arlini Timal from the CADRIM office, Murrell, also from the CADRIM office in Barbados, and Fanor Camacho, who is based in the IFRC office in Panama. So I'm handing the floor over to Arlini now, who will begin today's session.
Thank you, Alicia. Welcome, everybody. So we're going to do today the following objectives. We're going to explain the concept of ODK, let tools used in ODK, differ between build, collect, and aggregate, and define KoBo and its various elements. We're also going to be looking at understanding data management and, for example, data visualization. So we're going to get into it. What is ODK? At this time, we're going to share with you a video which illustrates how ODK is being used within the humanitarian sector. And yeah, let's enjoy. Okay, so what you would have seen there is how ODK is used realistically in the field or on the field when we have humanitarian activities. You've gotten a glimpse of what ODK could actually do, and that is collect data through mobile devices, and even when you're in remote locations on the field, you would be able to save that information even though you're not connected to a network. So it will still upload your information and you can access that at any time you would like. So you would also have gotten a glimpse of the developer, and ODK was created by developers from the Department of Engineering and Computer Science at the University of Washington and by members of Change. And it's a free software, so if you click on the link below the slide, you can actually download it yourself, utilize it on field, and learn how to collect data without being actually connected. Some core tools that are actually utilized within ODK is build, collect, and aggregate. ODK allows you to build, create, form your own survey for whatever type of information that suits your programming or whatever type of information you would like to get on the field. To collect that data, you can use your mobile device. You're not limited to actually collecting data on paper, but you could actually utilize your mobile device to collect this information and then save it to the aggregate server. That's what aggregate is about. So in the event that your post-impact, a disaster has hit, you do not have internet connection, but you need to send persons out on the field to collect valuable data, offer relief supplies, monitor those relief supplies. You can use whatever information collected on the field, save it to that aggregate data server, and then extract it whenever you need to, in whatever format you need to, in order to report, monitor, or log any type of data collected on the field. So now that I went through the core tools used within ODK, I'm now going to pass it over to Andre to get a little more detail on what these 3 steps contain. Andre?
Okay, thank you so very much, Arlini. So as you would have heard from Arlini, you can use your mobile devices to collect information for your programming needs. You don't need to be connected to the internet. This is one of the beauties. The thing is, you can use ODK for any type of data collection that you may need. You may use the ODK to collect information for your CAPs. If you're doing registrations in a post-disaster environment, for example, you can collect all this information, and it's more efficient. It lends itself to being very efficient way of collecting information, because you don't have to transpose that information that you would have gotten from on the paper into the computer system, or to use it for whatever purpose you want. You can just download everything into a spreadsheet and make your decisions based upon that information. There's no transposition errors or time wasted trying to analyze information, and you can quickly visualize the information that you have collected. So it's a very wonderful tool for us in our humanitarian work. And then now I'm going to take a look at the 3 tools that you can use. So these 3 tools work in concert with each other. That's the ODK build, the ODK collect, and the ODK aggregate. So ODK build is the tool that you use to design your forms. It's a very interactive web interface, and you can access it via the internet. And the survey, when you design your surveys using ODK build, it's just like any regular service. You must validate your information before you roll that survey out into the production environment, out into the field. All right. Now we're going to move on to the screen that shows you the ODK build. This is how you build your form. So you can see at the top where it says enter your name. That's where you can design each element that goes into the survey, onto your form. On this form, we have some data that's being collected. So you have the parts, the interviewee's name, you can enter your age, and you can also enter the date. All right. So these are various types of information that you can collect. And at the bottom, you see there's the add new. So that's where you can add a new text. You can add a text field. If you want to have the user enter text into the form, then you can enter the form, into the information into the form there. Next field is a numeric field. So you'll go down into the numeric, which is you select numeric, which is the 7 from the left, and then you can enter the age, the person's age there. You can enter date fields, and you can also enter GPS locations. The beauty of this tool is that you can actually take photos as well. So with photographs, you can, if you're doing a damage assessment post a disaster, you can actually take photos of the environment, and you can use that information that you collect the photo to make damage assessments of the impacted area. The next tool that is in the ODK suite is ODK Collect. And ODK Collect is a piece of software that you can download from the App Store, and you can use your Android phone to install this piece of software. So what form you designed in ODK Build is then shown on ODK Collect. And with ODK Collect, you will then go out into the field and conduct your surveys, your registrations, collect your information for your various programming needs. And the final tool is ODK Aggregate. So this is where the information that you collect, this is where the information is stored. So as you can see in this example, we got quite a few surveys that would have been filled out, and in there you can see you then download the information, so you can actually click the export button and download all that information into an Excel spreadsheet. And from there you can then start your analysis and achieve your programming needs. And the next slide we have here then shows the communication between the three different tools. So the ODK Build, you can design your line forms and upload that to the aggregate server. So you can see the arrow going from ODK Build, and it's a unidirectional communication because you can only upload from Build, and you upload that form up to the aggregate server that resides in the ODK. So then we also can see the ODK Collect tool. So that's the tool, as I mentioned before, that resides on your mobile device, and that communication is bidirectional. And you can then download the form that you'd have uploaded using ODK Build. You can download that form, you can complete the form, and the thing is you need to have that connectivity to the server to download the form. But once the form is downloaded on the mobile device, you can then go out into the field, you can collect the information, and when you return to an internet connection, you can then re-upload that form, those completed forms, to the aggregate server. All right, and I hope that my presentation is quite comprehensive, and we can discuss the key concepts further in the Q&A section. Now at this time, I wish to introduce Fanor. Fanor will be speaking on KoBo and the KoBo toolbox. Now, over to you, Fanor.
Can I start now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, thank you, Andre, for this amazing introduction to the mobile data collection tools. So now we are talking to talk a little bit about KoBo. KoBo is another option for mobile data collection, same as ODK. It's an open source. Sorry, can you go back to the first slide, please? Okay, so same as ODK, it's an open source tool for mobile data collection. It means that anyone can use it, and anyone can also make use of the code. So if you or your company or any national society want to perform an adaptation to adapt the tool to tailor the tool to your needs, so you can use take the code and modify it, make it available for, or make the enhancements that it needs to be used for your needs. It allows you also to collect data in the field using mobile devices, same as ODK. This is the difference between ODK and KoBo. I'm going to talk a little bit about this, and that ODK was developed at the beginning by Google, but then it moved to the University of Washington, and KoBo, it was an initiative more from the United Nations systems, in company with the Harvard Humanitarian Initiative. So you can go to the link which is right there, the KoBo tool toolbox, and you can explore a little bit about how to use it. It has some similarities with ODK, as I said just before. Okay, can we move on this following slide, please? So why KoBo? And KoBo is which is one of the advantages of using KoBo is that sorry. So why KoBo? I think that KoBo is a good. Sorry. Okay. Why KoBo? KoBo, I think that KoBo is a good option, and it's just a brother of a sister of ODK. And those are based on the same technology, and those both have been developed by universities. So they have quite a lot of similar. They are quite similar, and you can just choose in between both which one adapts best to your needs. One of the advantages of KoBo is that you can use you can go to the platform, open an account, and create a server, which is pretty much easier than ODK because you need to set up a server either in your laptop or in the cloud services. So KoBo is a good option because you can use it by creating an account. Now, on this slide, we can check that KoBo supports the full data cycle, data collection, which is from design, data collection, and analysis. So KoBo has one particularity, and is that they have a tool which allows you to analyze your data, because normally when you create forms or you start collecting data from mobile data using mobile devices, and once you have your data on your database, you are not able to analyze it if you don't have that, let's say, the set of skills that you need to have in order to analyze your data. And KoBo has developed a simple solution to this, which is an Excel spreadsheet with a formula, with a interface, which allow you to go through your data in a most graphical way. So the main features or the main capabilities of KoBo are form builder, where you can just start creating your form. Same as ODK, you are using the build tool. Here you can use the form builder. Then you have a question library where you can go and choose the question, which allow you to select the question which you can just copy and paste on your form, so you don't need to recreate the question from scratch. You can use it using it on Android, or based on it supports the same capabilities as ODK, so you can collect data in online or offline ways, and then you can also submit your data through the mobile phones to your server. Other features can be, it allows you to make the data management, so you can also download your data and data analysis in Excel. This is the tool that I was just discussing. You can just click here, download the tool in order to check what does it mean, data analysis in Excel. They have created an interface to make it easier for you. And you have the user control for permissions, so you can give the right permissions to the right people. Okay, so KoBo is a simple, robust, and powerful tool for data collection. And you have now two options to start. You can go through use to ODK, or you can use KoBo right now. Normally, here in the region, in Americas, we have been working a lot of time. We have invested a lot of resources using ODK. That's why we have many national societies in the region using ODK. But it doesn't mean that we cannot use other tools to create or to collect our data. So here there is some type of question that you can find in KoBo to create your surveys. So you can go to select one, to select many. You can use have question the type text, number, decimal, note. You can insert dates, time. You can take photos, make videos. You can validate data, and even those are just some of the type of questions that you can create using KoBo. You can collect also GPS geopoints. You can design lines or select an area or perform calculations, and it's same on the presentation. So this is just a bit of a golden rule for survey design, and it's an advice, a general advice whenever we are designing a survey, and it's to spend time designing your survey, to spend time thinking about what do you need, not to repeat, let's say, not to ask questions that don't add value to your analysis. Not to add questions that can make some noise in your analysis also, and then not to be aware of, and also to not to be let's say to try to be as accurate as possible, because you will need to think about which are the questions, because when you are collecting data, you are collecting data for a reason, and that reason should be answered by your by the questions or by the data that you are collecting. So which questions are valuable for your analysis. And now we are going to talk a little bit. We're going to pass a little bit the data collection part, and we are moving into the data, when we move from data to information, so which is the information management cycle. So as I said, when we are collecting data, we are collecting data for a reason, and that should be very clear when we start a data collection, okay? And to transform that data into information, we will need to follow some stage, which is called the information management cycle. And that information management cycle it's composed by 4 stages mainly. The first one is collect, the second one is collate, the third one is analysis, and the fourth one is disseminate. So we are in the information management cycle. We are collecting. Here is where we are using our KoBo toolbox or KoBo, or we are using our ODK tools. And here we need to start thinking about which data do we need to answer our question, and which tool do we need to in order to collect that data. Once we collect this data, we need to transform that data, or to start thinking where we are going to store this data. So we need a database and a spreadsheet, and format which allow us to clean our data and to make it structured, to structure our data. So this is the second part of the data cycle, which is collate. And the third part is analysis. And here is where we go into the visualization. So here we are producing from this data which has been collected, structured, cleaned, and stored. We are analyzing this data and we are producing graphs, charts, maps, or other types of graphs which allow us to share our results. The last part of the data of the information management cycle is the dissemination. So we need also to make sure that we are disseminating our results with the right people at the right time in the right moment. So that's something that we need also to target and to be able to make sure that the results that are reaching our objective. For that, we need to find ways to disseminate the data in the right format. So, for instance, if I am sharing my data using graph, and I am sharing like, let's say, bar chart for, I don't know, locations. So then it will be much better to share our data using a map or using an infographic, and we will need also to select which is the right way to disseminate this data, which can be our website or an email or a poster. So we will need to select that the way as we are disseminating the data. And then all this information management cycle is normally impacting also our decision making and our reporting. So we are doing all this data collection, collect, analysis, and dissemination in order to share our results to take decisions. Oh, sorry, I'm just doing my draws here, which are not very nice, but I'm just trying to follow and the second part that we are doing all this information management cycle is because we will need to create reports. So this is like the whole system that we are building, and we need to be careful on each of these stage. So it means that when we are collecting, select the right tool. It could be ODK, KoBo, spreadsheets, paper, whatever you want to use, but we need to make sure that data is structured, analyzed, disseminated in the right way, in order to take decisions and to make the reports probably that you are producing. Then we have like a graphical representation, which is the visualization of the data or of the data that you have been collecting. So for that, you need to choose the right format. As I said, you can be performing a composition of data, a comparison, a relationship, distribution. So there is a wide range of possibilities to show these results. So to be accurate, you need to be able to identify which of those visualizations it will have a better, let's say, a better impact on the way that you are showing the results. So I think that's pretty much what I have for you today. Probably I'm passing the presentation to my colleagues.